Again, we are live with the New York stock market morning session. Glad you can join us. Market will be open in about 15 minutes. We'll see what's going on prior to that opening. And yeah, just Mr. Bain is with me this morning here. Yep, hopefully a few more people will join us. All right, so I think we had some red news this morning because the market has sprung back to the upside quite in a dramatic fashion here. So let's see. Yes, indeed. So let's see what did we have for red news. I think we had non-farm payroll this morning. So that was yesterday. This is today. Here we go. So we had average hourly earnings, which came about in line with expectations. Non-farm employment change expected was 138, and they got 177. So that's quite a difference. And the unemployment rate came in line. So I think it's the non-farm that caused the move here. Let's see what the U.S. dollar did. And U.S. dollar is on top. Not much reaction overall in the U.S. dollar. Interesting. We're in a downward mode though on the U.S. dollar.
How low can it go, Lennox?
Which one, the U.S. dollar?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me take a look at the U.S. dollar here. It's the difference between the U.S. dollar here and the Dow Jones dollar. Okay, so this is the U.S. dollar here. Let's go to the weekly. I'm going to go to the monthly. So I just want to see the bigger picture of this chart. Okay, so you can. It's interesting when if I go back to the weekly, you see when you look at it, it looks like we're just chopping around here for a while. You know, since May of 2023, we've just been in a chop. Actually, even before then, let's just see. Yeah, we've just been in this big chop, and so on the weekly, it tells a completely different story. So we went up, and now we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've dropped all the way down to the bottom. So if you don't look at the monthly, you get a totally different picture. So when you look at the monthly, you see, oh, okay, so this is why it's been chopping around. We've come from a huge 1, 2, 3 here. Then we come up. Then we chop up and down. Now we drop. So that's what we've been in an overall upward mode most of this time, and now all of a sudden we get this big drop in here. But we've been in a sideways chop most of the time, so it looks like we could be at the bottom of this move. And the reason why is because they've basically taken everybody out now. So there really isn't much for them to go back down to. So we could be at a point where we could turn around and start marching back to the upside. I don't know if that's good for who that is good for. But you can see the structure says, yeah, we've had 1, 2. So we could be at a point where we could start turning around for certain. So yeah, we've been in quite a downward spiral, but yeah, maybe time. Okay, Martin is trying to join now. Let's see if I can get
there we are. I hear you.
There he is. Okay. So what did you have to press to join, Martin?
When still Teams doesn't show up in my bar, so I have to go via Skype, and then when I press start using Teams, it would open up an indefinite number of Teams windows and just continue to open up Teams windows. So I had to close it all down and try it again.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to open
time,
Skype.
Yeah, no, this time it worked. Now I came via Skype, but could join by pressing use Teams now.
Interesting.
It's bamboozling.
All right, thank you. Glad you can join us. All right. So we're just looking at the US dollar and looking at its spiral down here. And so it looks like we could possibly be at a bottom. And I say possibly because 1, 2, 1, 2. So this could be 3 here, although this could be 3 here as well. This could be our 3, and then we could still drop another time. So it is a possibility that we could go further down. Okay, I can't rule that out at that point. At this point, well, the daily looks like we still have more down. You can see that. So from here and now, you can see we have a 1, 2, 3. So we certainly could fall some more, Peter. That is a possibility. 4 hour. The 4 hour tells a little story as well. We've got a 1, 2 here, so we could possibly go back up one more time here before we come back down again. So there's always every time frame tells a little bit of a different story, so it's quite interesting. Yeah. All right, so that's what the US dollar right now is in a downward mode. So on the hourly, it's saying, okay, yeah, we could drop through one more time here, and then we could still see a move back up after that. So it's quite very interesting. All right, so NASDAQ, big huge move on the NAS this morning, coming back up. So they've taken out the previous high from yesterday. Quite interesting there. So there we go. Yesterday we made that new high. We had a 1, 2, 3 top. We drop. You see how we don't get a fifth wave here. So we get a 1, 2, 3 drop down. We would expect something like that, and then a move back up. But instead they don't go through and they just go right back up. So quite interesting. See how S&P did. S&P is the same. Yeah, they're identical. There are not even any divergences or anything. They're identical. Net between the NAS and the S&P. Not even any divergences or anything. They're identical. Net between the NAS and the S&P. Not even. Okay, so on the 15, how's our time? We've got 7 minutes to go on the 15-minute of the US dollar, of the NASDAQ, sorry. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom, 3, 4, 5, and then an A and a B and a C and a D and an E. So this is a nice little ploy. They took everybody out up here, made a 1, 2, 3 bottom. And so this would have been a buying opportunity if you were awake this morning to catch this move. Right out of an A, B, C, D, E. That's just perfect. Wow.
Just like Tesla, if you'd been awake at the close for Tesla yesterday, it had a nice 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute chart.
On the 1 minute, okay. So remember, when we looked at Tesla yesterday, we've kind of established that we're in this big, huge fourth wave from even the higher time frame. So remember, I was saying that it's possible we could push up first into this gap area, take out this high over here, and so forth. And so it looks like that's what's going to happen this morning. We're going to open up higher. But where we're going to open is going to be the key now. So we could even open above 290 here this morning as possible. somewhere in this area. You can see the structure. We have a 1, 2, 3, and this is similar. It's similar to the NAS in that we had the A, B, C, D, E again. So it looks likely that we'll open up high. Where we'll open is going to be the question. Okay, so back to the NAS. So beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom on the NAS. Just like over here, we got this beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom for that move. They did the same thing again. So now we could gyrate for a while here at the open. So we'll see how the open in 4 minutes plays out here. At least we know where we are on that chart. Let's see Bitcoin. Go to Bitcoin on the daily, and daily we've been rocking right up. It's very strong on Bitcoin here. We've got a 1, 2, 3, and we're pushing to take out the highs up here. So
what's the overall direction for Bitcoin, Lennox?
Looks very strong to the upside overall. Like if I go to on the weekly, we came through this fourth wave area here, had a nice 1, 2, 3 and up, and then we chopped up and down in here, dropped. Now we get a 1, 2, 3 again. So they're heading up to take out all these highs and break the previous high of 110,000 some odd. So that's what it looks like. That, you know, unless something catastrophic occurs, we should see that play out. 100,000 is right in the cards right now. Could even see that today.
Wow.
It's a possibility. It's only 4,000 points away, $4,000 away. So less than $4,000, 5,000. Sorry, we're at 96.9, so 97, $3,000 away, really.
Do you see the eventuality of 180,000?
That was my calculation to 180,000, which would be quite something if we reach that. So you can see on the hourly here very clearly that we had a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom. When now we know where we are, and we've just been chopping up and down. So this is the D leg. So it's possible we could come all the way back down, take all these guys out first, and then have a move out. So why would it come all the way down, back down 96? I mean, it's not that far when you're down at this level, but 30-minute, very choppy. So yeah, we could come down first, which would be in line with the indices, because we've just done a 1, 2, 3 on the NAS. We're now at this point, so we know where we are, and we'll be looking for a chop. So that's in line with the chop of Bitcoin, which could come back down first before we go. All right, we're in the last minute before the open here, so let me go back over to NAS. So yeah, we're looking like we could come down. Right. So 5 minutes, 1 minute. All right. Go back to the 15, see if I see anything. There's nothing here on the 15. There's a big gap on the 15 right there. Let me mark that. All right, I think we are open. And they're off.
Are you long already?
No, I'm not in anything at this point.
No.
I wouldn't be long or short at this point because, again, and the reason why is because we've had this 1, 2, 3 bottom, and now you know where we are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So once you know where you are, you know this is not a place to be really playing. You have to be cautious here because
there's there are two gaps on the 5-minute NAS.
Yes, there's gaps. Yeah, so I marked off the 15-minute gap because it has more precedence than the lower time frame gaps, right? So 15-minute gap is a big 15-minute gap. So mark that one off, and you see they're right in the middle of it now. On the 5-minute, we have smaller gaps. So the 15-minute takes precedence over them. So you can see we came right into the middle of the gap, and now we're kind of bouncing. So I would expect at this point that this would be the expectation that we'd come back up to this level. So could have played it, but I wasn't sure if they were going to come down a little lower here, which is still possible. So how did Tesla open up here? Boom. Yeah, so as expected, Tesla we thought would open up high. So they didn't open that high really. They opened at 284.89, and now we're pushing right up.
So Peter could be done for the day soon.
Yeah, it's nothing to play right now. You can see this. It's just straight up. All right, so
I'd be looking for a short on Tesla.
Yeah, it's a tough one right now. So on the NAS, see, I can't see anything on the 1 minute really that's grabbing my attention, but let's see what it looks like on the seconds chart. Yeah, there was a possible entry in here on the seconds chart in this area, but again, it's pretty choppy area, so I can see them coming up to take out this high. Is that a worthwhile trade at that point? Yeah, it's okay, I suppose, but
this couldn't just be a retrace inside the fourth wave to go down into a fifth leg.
Well, again, if we look at it from the 15-minute time frame, if this is our 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we're at this level, then with this move here, we're just starting our fourth wave. So this is really just an A leg, and then we could get a B leg and a C leg, and you see what I'm saying? So this is a possibility. That's what they're going to do in here before we even leave. So that's why I'm hesitant about jumping in, because we don't know what they're going to do in here at this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If that makes sense, then you have an understanding of what. So it's almost exactly the same as when we were here, down here on this 1, 2, 3 here. Then we get this move up 3, 4. So in here, you don't know if they're going to come all the way back down. You don't know if they're just going to go sideways. You don't know what's going to happen. So for you to jump in here to go long, yes, you could, but you see that didn't go very far. And then they gyrated around, you see? So essentially you're inside a trap area. And it's very difficult to ascertain what they're going to do. So this was a 3, 4, 5. So if I do this over, so we had a 1, 2. So this really is our 3. So inside of that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they start gyrating and chopping it all up to take people out of their positions. They leave these guys alone here. They leave these guys alone. They leave these guys alone. but they take everybody else down below, and then now they go up and start taking them out. These guys are out, and these guys are out here, and now they scream up, and these guys get taken out. So it's just the same kind of thing. We're in that same area because we've gone 1, 2, just like we did here, and now we go up, and so we don't know what they're going to do here. So you can go in here and play, but you play at your own peril because, right? Yeah, you might make you might make something, or not. You see what they've done, right, already, right? It looked like, we could go up and take out the high, but they didn't. So now they come back down. So they're starting to play, the game already. So they've swept these guys out. Right? These guys up here are safe for now, and these guys here are safe for now. So swept here. So these guys are gone. So what are they going down to? So there's a gap here on the 1 minute. So that's why I was saying on have a 15-minute gap, but they could go through it, and they have. So there are gaps down below. That's why you have to be vigilant and really watch and see what they're doing. And even when you think you know what they're doing, they still mess you up. So where are they going to is the question, right? So they've gone through that gap like butter. There's another little one here. They've gone through that one as well. There isn't anything else now. So that could be the turnaround here. So at this point, you could say, okay, possibility that I could buy this to go back up, but is it? Is it? So quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the expected move was to the downside because we had a 1, 2, 3 top. We chopped up, and so we expect them to take out this low over here, and that's what they've done. When we looked at Bitcoin earlier, we saw that we were in this chop, and on the 15, the expectation was that we would be coming down because we're inside a fourth wave. So it's the exact same thing on Bitcoin. We got the 1, 2, 3 bottom. They come up, and you see what they do. We see this is likely what they're going to be doing on the NAS, and so we would expect them to come down and take out these lows at that point. So this would be a better play on Bitcoin to the downside if you could catch the 1, 2, 3 top to come down to take out the lows here. So you can see we have equal lows here, equal lows here. So if you could get into play up here to come down, that would be a good play on Bitcoin. So 5 minute time frame. There we've got on the 5 minute, we already have a 1, 2, 3 top. So on. So, and you can see how on the 5 minute they came back into this gap. So that's a nice sell opportunity right there on Bitcoin to drop. So since we've taken out, let me just make this, since we've taken out the low, wow, since we've taken out this low, we get a pullback and another opportunity for a sell. So and I'm on the 5 minute time frame looking at this. So if we came down to the 1 minute, of course, you can get more refined entries. So there's my 5 minute gap. So we almost came into it. They could still come up into it, and then we could drop, or they could just keep going straight down right now. So if they came back up here, then that would present a nice sell opportunity on Bitcoin to come down. Okay, back to the NAS. Okay, so the NAS, you see, that would have been, I was just saying that would have been a great buy at this point here to go back up, right? Because they're doing that kind of movement now. So they're looking to take these guys out now. These guys have been swept. So there's only the only liquidity left here is here and here now. Okay. All right. So yeah, if I'm not jumping around so much, yeah, I could jump into something. But so there's Tesla. Tesla still hasn't shown anything concrete yet. It looks, Peter says he wants to go short with it, but we could be heading up first, right? Take these two out. I think more than likely we're heading up, but again, you have to be vigilant.
Yeah, I agree.
See the NAS going to take out that high. So this would have been a good buy. I would have wanted to jump in on a fractal here, but I've switched over to Bitcoin there and missed my opportunity there on NAS. All right, so Bitcoin gave us a sell, and I've missed that now as well. So yeah, so Bitcoin came into the gap, just touched it. So that's a sell right there on Bitcoin. We'll come back down, take out the low. So you have to be quick, on the minute time frame sometimes to catch these moves. But it's okay if you miss it too. As long as you can see what's going on, then you have an understanding of what to do next time you see something like that. We should take out this high. Once we take out that high, let's see, where's 930 is here. 930 is here. So my first gap is right here this morning. So if we don't take out that high, I would still expect a retrace.
Yeah, that would be the E leg down, wouldn't it?
But this is really our A. We're still in that A leg. So this is be the B leg now. You see? Okay. So they're just making an A, B, C here.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is one leg. And now we get another leg here. And that would be our B, say. And then we could get another one like that, and that would be our C, and then the D, but they do ABCs inside of them. Right? So that's kind of what I would expect, but I'm just hypothesizing, as it were. So there's our retrace. So they don't have to take out the high first. They can retrace first and then go up and take out the high.
It looks like there's a tempting 5 minute, 1 minute gap down there, or even 2.
Yeah, that's.
Now they got into the first 1 minute gap.
Yeah, this was this sell here, this buy here was the best one so far. I would think this was a good sell here as well. But again, you have to be quite nimble in order to catch that. And Bitcoin's given us another opportunity for a sell. So they've come back. Bitcoin has come back into the gap. So I'll sell it here. I'm going to sell Bitcoin here. Look for them to come back down. Go back to NAS. They're going up higher on Bitcoin, higher than I would have expected them to at this point. So what are they doing here on the NAS? So we come back into this gap here on the 1 minute, and now we're looking to take out the high. And they're not taking it out yet. So lots of game playing going on right now. So Tesla's just going sideways.
Yeah.
They're not making it easy right now for anyone, right?
Including are market makers involved in sideways action? I mean, are they?
Well, that's what they call the manipulation. So whenever we get that chop, it's a manipulation area. So they're manipulating it in order to, if they want it to go up, if the direction is up, then they're going to manipulate it to induce people to go short because they want to get better prices to go long. So that's the usual ploy. So there's Bitcoin dropping down. It went up a little higher than I expected there, but they're coming back. They came back down. They can continue going down here. It'll be nice, but we'll see. I'm going to take a little profit off on Bitcoin here while I can get it. Quick partial there. Take a quick profit off, and let's see if we can continue going down. I'd like to see them break this low here first. That would be good before I like to put a stop in, maybe right about just a small stop right just there. They can come back up easily and take me out. I'd like to see them break this low first, but you see they're coming back up. So that's why I don't like putting my stop on something. There's no real safe place in here to put my stop. I don't want to put it way up here. It's too far away. So, I'd like to see them continue dropping here. Okay, so NAS is coming down. So again, you can see we're inside of a choppy area, and it's, if I go up to the higher time frames, go up to the 5, you can see what's going on. We're just chopping. So it's very difficult. You see on the 15, it's not really showing anything yet on the 15, but it's quite choppy. It's quite if you can jump in to go long, yes, but you have to be able to get out quick. You can jump in to go short, yes, but you have to be nimble, right? So it's not a really great area to play in. Okay, so see on Bitcoin, that's just like I was saying, they've taken me out of that with my stop, because I have no place to put a stop. I could put it way up here, but I don't want to take that risk because we're inside a very volatile area. So better to take us even just a little small hit. I was going to put it in the positive just so I didn't lose, but it was too tight here. They needed to break this low first before I would do that, but they did not. So made some profit anyway. So let's see if we can. I could get back in again to continue down because we're still in that sweet spot area for a sell. So we could still come down, take out these lows. So they come back into that area again. So let's sell it one more time. So the only thing about selling it here is that I'm faced with the same dilemma. Where do I place my stop? So again, I get some nice profits right away. So let's. It takes a partial there again, and let's see if we can. Now I've got a little bit of a place to put my stop just above that high. So hopefully they don't come back up there now, and we just continue down. We've swept this low, so let's see if we can continue down, take these guys out, and then take these guys out. Where would my target be? If I'm correct, 15 minutes. So could put a target for these equal lows here, or down here, or right to the bottom. So I'll put it to the bottom here. That's a daily low over here. That'd be quite a nice play to that level. And we could even go down to the lows over this side as well. So NASDAQ's coming down. So they're really making a choppy affair here. So again, we could go back up again, right? Not for the faint of heart, this stuff. Let's see what Tesla is doing. Okay, so Tesla, well, you were correct, Peter. They are coming down. Thought perhaps they would go up first, but nope. They didn't even take these guys out. They just went straight down. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're on our way down. So that's a 3-pointer, 4 points there from one of these highs. So again, Bitcoin is still hanging around up here. So they could take me out above that high because they're mean. And they came within a whisker of taking me out. I'm not giving them any more than that high because it's so volatile. So I don't want to put my stop way up here where the risk is so high. Let's see if we can come through equal lows here. So we should just sweep these guys out and these guys and these guys. So these are all stops under here, people going long. People going short are up here. That's me. People going short are up here. So the ploy usually, Martin, is if they want to go down, if they want to take this market down, they're going to go up and get the short sellers first, the guys who go short, because that's where the cheap prices are, right? And then they'll come down. So anytime there are equal highs like that, you're kind of in jeopardy, because especially if they hang around up here for a while, they'll spike it through with a wick and take you out, because they are a wick Ed, right? Quick Ed. And yeah, so that's the name of the game. Grab liquidity. So I hear anyways, right? So up we go again. See, so again we could buy here and go up, but you again you have to be nimble, catch these moves. So I don't want to jump around in NAS. So they're going to take me out of Bitcoin again. So they just won't break that low and continue down. So they're taking out the sellers here first. That's me. That's why I don't like putting stops on, but it's dangerous, right? As we well know. So I don't think I'll survive this one here.
Yeah, I remember a trade I took and I put a stop away, way away, thinking they'd never go there. And guess what? That's where they went.
Yeah, that's what they do.
It's criminal. I mean, there should be a law against stop shopping.
Well, they didn't take me out yet, but now we have 3 equal highs there, though. So, boy, that's, if they're really serious about going down, they could still go up there and get you and then drop it down. But if they take these guys out down here, maybe they won't come back up here at all, which would be great for me because I'm in it. But that's very close to taking me out there. Very, very close there. So a nice drop here. If we can take out this low, the low, that'd be really good. I could even then move my stop into positive. I still don't really want to, I mean, I should be able to move my stop into positive here, but it's tight still. They can come up. So better than losing, though, is to move your stop into positive. So I will do that. Put my stop into positive. I don't like to put my stop at break even because break even means you just get 0. And I don't want 0. I want to have something, something positive. So even if it's $10 or whatever, right? You know what I mean? But instead of 0. Let's see if we continue down. So let's see what the NAS is probably coming back down again. So you see how volatile this is. This is the reason why I was saying, once you understand where you are in the structure, in our structure, you have to be super careful about playing. So our structure, and for those on YouTube watching us, we are the 1, 2, 3 traders. What we're looking for is a 1, 2, 3 bottom or 1, 2, 3 top. And 1, 2, 3 bottom is a low, a high, a low. And they don't necessarily have to be swing lows or swing highs, but most of the time they are swing lows. So just a three candle swing low, swing high, swing low. And then we're looking for an entry in the number 3 area, which is usually about 50% retrace between points 1 and points 2. And then we look for a move to the upside to a 1.618 Fibonacci target area. And I say area because there are other Fibonacci numbers, 1.414, 1.272, even 1.00. You can take profits off on the way up and so forth. This is my favorite target. And then when we get to this point, we kind of, we're good. We've made some nice profit. We should be able to stay out and withstand the mess that they propagate in this area. And then we can look to jump in again to play a new 1, 2, 3 at this point, which will happen, and take us up again to take out this high. So that's our model. And been playing this for decades. It works like a charm. So here we had 1, 2, 3. This is our 1, 2, 3. Retrace back into about 50% area. Entry. Take it up to 1.618 area, and there we go. So they stopped me out of Bitcoin again. So that's why I'm saying it's super volatile. Let me just go back and look at it. Yeah. So even though they've taken out these lows, I moved my stop into positive, and they've taken me out. So it looks like they want to take out those equal highs. You see, so you might think you're safe, and you're not, because they can go back up because they haven't got their quota, and there's lots of orders sitting here now. Is these guys sold so they can go up now and get buy orders from them because their stops are buy orders. And so they come up and take them out, and then we'll get another drop, more than likely to the downside. So let's see if they do take them out, which I would expect. All right, so back to NAS again. All right, so go back to the 15. So that was our 1, 2, 3 here, and we went up 5 waves. So we look for a structure that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this one takes us to our target. Then in here, we look for a new 1, 2, 3 to take us to take out this target and go higher. So this is what happened here. They came down. We made a new 1, 2, 3 at that point, and then we're looking to take out this target. And so we can go and look for, again, 1.618 up here. Retrace 50% here. And I say 50%, but it's a sweet spot area. 50 to 62% area is the sweet spot. Retrace, and then you look for that move. So if I were to put the fibs on these moves, for instance, in here, this move here to here to here, looking for 1.618 target. There's my 1.618 target, and there's the 1.414, 1.272. So that's a quick entry in here to go up to those targets or higher. And there's 2.618, 2.414, 2.272 targets as well. But that's that move there. And if I did it over here, this 1, 2, 3 bottom here, to that level, to this level here, looking at 1.618 again for targets, or 2.618. There's 1.618 target. Boom. Or you can go to 2.618 and boom, and you're done. So that's the play. That's the ploy. Okay, so what are they doing in here? Now they're finally pushing out. Hey, so they're now they've swept everybody out. See, all these sellers are now the only one left now, right? These guys. So they've swept these guys. We've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we're looking pretty good that we're going to take these guys out up here. So opportunity there for that buy, but again, I'm not going to be buying in here because it's too volatile. We're not really sure what they're doing in here. So if it's iffy, it's best to kind of stay out. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move down. We sweep the low. So this looks really good. This is a classic setup where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. We sweep. They come back up. They sweep here. Retrace 50 to 62%. So this is a good buy to go back up to take all these highs out. So that's what they've done. And then we have this one left up here. So will they take this one? We would think so, because we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So it tells us that we should go quite a ways up here. So are we done all this chop? We could be. So Martin, when I was looking at it before, and I was saying this could be our A, and this could be our B, and this could be our C, and we could get a D, and then come back down for another E. It can also be a different way. We might be even done at this point. So this could have been our A, this could be our B. then we come down to C, then we go back up to D, and then that's a B. And then we come down to E, they sweep, you see? And now we get our 1, 2, and we could be pushing out now. So that's another way of looking at it. That's possible, or I might still have it right in that this is the A. This could be the A here, and a B and a C and a D, and we could still come down one more time, take these guys out again. So we just, again, because we're in a fourth wave, we just can't be positive of what they're really doing here. So look at what they've made a liar out of me on Bitcoin. And probably best that I had my stop in. So they took all these guys out, took all these guys out. So my expectation that they were going to come and take these guys out did not come to fruition. So that's just the way it is. You have to be able to go with the flow. So let me go to the 15. So Bitcoin, we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom here. And we've traversed up. And we're just chopping, same just like the NAS. So we're just inside a fourth wave, really. So you have to really look to see what's going on. And you have to be able to be flexible and move and flow with what the market's doing. And I can't be rigid in what I think, because, I thought perhaps, yes, we're going to come back down and take out these lows here. But you can see they said, no, we're not doing that. We're just taking out these guys down here. We're heading back up. Same thing that the NAS is doing. It's the exact same pattern in the sense that we came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sweep these guys out. They left these ones alone. Interesting. And then they made a 1, 2 here now. And now we're heading back up to take everybody out that sold. And that's it. As quick as that. So there is the overall structure. So we come to this point, they make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a sweep. They make a 1, 2. They chop it up a little bit here, drop it. And now they come back up and take everybody out. We're going to take out these highs. So now again, we know where we are. So we're heading back up to a fourth wave, and we could chop again before we continue. So very sneaky stuff here. So we're in the 10 o'clock algo, and it looks like our algo is kicked in nicely. We've got gaps, and we're pushing to the upside. So we're going to chop in here, look for them to take out this high first, big chop, and then continue. So how have I done so far this morning here? And I was playing last night, so I've had two losses, very small losses. Good thing. I always like to keep the losses small and see how I've done since last night here. So I had some nice trades yesterday and last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I was playing NAS there, 10 grand and 5 grand. And,
yeah, nice.
So it's nice to keep the losses tiny. I hate losing though. I even hate to lose even $93, but it happens, right? You're gonna lose. So, all right. So looking at Bitcoin again, they're really coming down again. So they're giving us an opportunity to get in on Bitcoin now. So we've got a 1, 2 here, and this is an opportunity back into gap to go back to the upside. So if one is nimble enough, you can take advantage of it. So nothing on the 5-minute. So that's a buy right there on Bitcoin. And I'm a bit slow here. Let's see if I can catch it. See if we drop back in here. I don't know if they're going to come back again. They might not. Drop back in here. reason why I buy this is because we're still looking to take out the highs to the left. So this high still in play. Come back into that gap, and we just did. I'm gonna buy it now. All right, so I'm buying it on a fractal here. So looking for them to continue up. So my stop would be below the gap. Thereabouts, or below the candle that's forming the gap. This is a big risk here because they can easily come down a little bit more through this gap, but yeah, it's a tough one here. Either coming back into the gap, that should suffice. We've got a nice 1, 2, 3 now. Hopefully we can push out and up without taking this low again. But they're playing around. Yeah, so I would have been in jeopardy below the gap. I'm okay below so you see they swept that low again just because they can. Well, hopefully that's it, and we should go up now. They're coming right below. Now they're going to go below that candle. See, my stop would have been taken at that point. So that's where my stop would be. So that's why sometimes I don't put the stop on, but I take a risk by not putting the stop on because then I can put myself in serious drawdown. So they've come down into this gap here. They've come down quite a bit lower than I would have expected on this. So am I just getting caught in a chop, which is what we're in? See, we're in this big chop. So am I just getting duped into going long, and they're just coming down to take everybody out, and they're not done? It looked like we were heading up. So this is where I can get caught. So I'm going to buy some more at this point because I'm expecting us to go back up here. They swept these guys, so you see what they're. It's just a game, of sweeping. They come down. Let's see if we can go back up again. So NAS is trying to go back up, take out its high. Well, they did sweep it already. Okay, so you see that high was swept now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So that's an ABC commencing after the fifth.
Well, it still gives us 1, 2, and then this is now our 3. And so we're just chopping. Now we're going to chop again. See? So, cool. Yeah. So I would expect Bitcoin to push back to the upside here in the short term. Oh, we're very close to break even there. Wow. So since they have swept their low, I would expect that we wouldn't come back again to sweep the low. We should just continue up here. So, expectation anyways, right? Pushing along with NAS. How's Tesla? Tesla coming back? So Tesla, you can see Tesla's formation now. It's quite evident. And we've got a 1, 2, so we're heading down to take out this low. But there's a little bit of pressure still in the markets here to the downside, even though we're moving to the upside nicely. I'm looking for Bitcoin to get me back into positive here. They're not making it easy for me. NAS is pushing. This is how S&P. S&P has not even taken out the high yet. So you see we haven't quite a divergence at this point, but it is showing strength. So you can see S&P does have a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we're in this nice move to take out the high. So it's likely that we will take out the high up there. Here. NAS has taken that high. So right now there is divergence between the S&P and the NAS, and Bitcoin is giving me hard times just trying to get up there, which is what I'm expecting them to push up. I have a 1, 2, 3 bottom now. I'm getting a nice move. So I'm just gonna take the profit off because I don't like the way it's gyrating around. So they're just they could bring it back down on me again. It's very volatile in here, so I'm not going to take the risk, take the profit when I get it and get out. Go up to the 5-minute here. So you see where I'm in a chop. I thought maybe we were ready to go, but they can chop it around. Of course, getting out, I could be wrong and I should have stayed in, but that's okay, right? So it's very super choppy in here, so not liking the action. I don't know if they're just messing around. They come back down, take these guys out again, and so on. So it looked pretty good there that maybe we would just come back into this area here and then turn around and go and continue up. But once they broke all the way down, took out the lows, it changes everything. I have to rethink it. So just to get out with some profit is good enough at that point, because they can still play games in here. So they're really holding the gap. This gap is really holding. So I probably could have stayed in the position, but it's all good. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom and the sweep. So we could come back again and continue. So there's another gap here. So this is kind of, how I manage. So looking at it, they can come back in take the high. So this was in effect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're done because they did sweep it by one tick. One tick. Amazing. There's our number 1 point, our number 2 point, our number 3 point, and we're off. So there's a sweep. Bitcoin's now in a fourth wave again. So we get 1, 2, 1, 2, another 1, 2, 3, chop, 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 chop. One more push to the upside. So again, I could jump in here to buy to go up if I felt that it was worthwhile. Are there enough pips there to or handles to make a play from here to go up? Is it a worthwhile play, right? I don't like to jump in way up here to go long. Better to jump in down here to go long.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Mr. Pitcher has made it. Can you hear us, George?
Very well, yes. I just got back from audiologist.
So he did a good job.
Well, I have my regular hearing aids, but you know, the new technology is so improved, but
Yeah, that's great.
I have to do my research on it before I plop down with $7,000.
Wow, that is significant.
Just say no to that, George.
Pardon?
Just say no to that. Tell him you know you're not paying that kind of money.
I had a trade this morning and it looks like it worked out.
So you left it running.
Yeah.
Set your targets and your stops.
Well, and it looked like if I was here, I could have had 10 times that. You're on Bitcoin now?
Yeah, I played a little bit. I haven't played. Did I play the NAS? I don't think I played the NAS, but I played Bitcoin. And yeah, so now we can see my chart is all marked up here, but you can see our structure beautifully here now. So that's what we're looking for. They sweep that high. So now we would look for them to sweep this low, give us a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. And that's basically, this would be a sell opportunity. So I prefer to jump in up here on the sell at that point, because at that point here, if I go down to the seconds chart again, and this is where the seconds chart comes in super handy.
Is that the second chart you're on?
No, this is my seconds chart here.
Okay.
So
you're on a 1 minute chart on the other one?
Yes, 1 minute on the NAS. So
that's on the NAS. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So right up here, you can see this is what is showing. There's a 1, 2, 3 there as well. So on the seconds chart, that's why I use the seconds chart. They sweep that high. They give me that 1, 2, 3 in here. I can jump in early and take a quick trade, looking to come back down to these lows down here. But what happens is that they're going to make this move back up and then come back down. So that's what they're doing on the minute time frame, pushing back up into a gap, and then they continue down, take out this low. That creates a structure for us that gives us the move back up.
You're looking to go down on this thing right now.
Yeah. So this is what they're doing, and this is what they're always doing. So this is the thing that it's so very difficult for people to understand, is that everything is just fractal. Everything is just you're just doing the same thing
like
over and
we've
over.
just completed wave 5. Should we make it a 3? We're doing an A wave down now? Or?
This move here is this move here. It's the same structure, but on a smaller scale. That's what they're doing. And then they'll push back up.
But at the top of that is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Yeah. So we've got 5 waves from they swept this low here.
So we have a new one.
We get our 1, 2. They sweep that.
Right.
Drop back in. Beautiful setup here for this move. Pull back
3,
in.
4, 5.
Another one. Sweep again. So now we would expect them to sweep and pull back in and then drop. So that would be the expectation. Doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that I'm right, but that would be the expectation. So that kind of gives us the head and shoulders pattern that everybody's familiar with.
Yeah. Well, right now it seems that they could easily go up and still break that high.
They could, but I wouldn't expect that to happen. So
I understand that, but
S&P
on my charts they haven't said that they're finished yet. But I understand exactly what you're doing, and that makes sense.
So there's Bitcoin. Like I said, we could buy this if you felt that it was enough handles to go back up. And sure enough, at that point it was.
Up, yeah.
So you could have made some pips on some handles on that move. So it's all judgment. I don't like buying way up here, but sometimes I do, because if I feel that there's enough, if I analyze that there's enough, if there's something over here that's a gap or a previous high, that can be a gauge of where they're likely to go to. So I'd be looking, and there are these previous highs. So yeah, that presented an opportunity to go higher to take out, and that's a daily high there. Yeah. This is the daily high. So they're heading up to take out the daily high, and they're just done that now.
Yeah, they're completing wave 3 now, right?
So you can't see that until I go up to the 30-minute time frame.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm seeing that we're going up nicely on the Bitcoin on a 5-minute chart even.
So there's our structure, and they chopped it.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that a possibility that we could come back down one more time here and sweep these guys out. But they didn't do that. They said, no, we're not doing that. We're going back up first. So my expectation that we would come down did not come to fruition. So we go with them.
That's a big gap that they have possibly forming right now.
Look at them. They're just moving up with a lot of vigor at this point.
Yeah.
So quite interesting there. So that would have been a nice play. And when I originally went in at this point down here and caught this move, I could have jumped back in again and caught this move, even to this level, or even to here. Again, I could have jumped back in if I felt I didn't go up and look to see what was up here. So that's why I hesitated about going in. But
yeah, I understand.
I'm jumping around too much anyways I need to be more vigilant in what I'm trading. So I'm just kind of showing you guys real quick snippets of what you can do. But so back to the NAS. NAS is a little bit more quiet and relaxed chart here. So you can see what's going on with the NAS. So still looking for them now to take out this low.
The NAS is trying to go the way that you're saying. It's just having difficulty giving up the momentum it has enough. It's a battle going on at this point, let's say that.
Tesla is doing similar. It's a little bit of a battle in Tesla. Right now we're in a 4th wave area. So we're looking for them to continue pushing up to take out the highs.
I forget. Was there any 10 o'clock news that had any effect?
No.
Okay.
Not that I saw anyways. Nothing really happened at 10.
Yeah. factory orders were down slightly, but the 8:30 news had an effect. Yeah.
So are they going to come and take the lows, or are they going back up to take the highs?
Well, they're still,
George
I
felt-
have them still in a battling situation, as I call it.
Let's see how S&P is doing.
The
S&P is
buyers
doing.
and sellers are trying to see who's on top.
So the tricky thing is here, we do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom now.
Yeah,
So
but
it's looking like we want to go through and take out the high. However, because we've swept this high, this high might be safe. Might be, I say.
yeah.
So we could just fail in this gap and come back down. I would expect it to move down because we've swept this high and we got it, although I thought we'd come down a little bit further before we got this move back up. We're moving back up quicker than my expectation, but would like to see them coming down
one
again.
One of the things I've been finding, Lennox, when I look at some of these candles, it seems as though somebody will try an aggressive move that gives you a larger candle just to test the system out to see how effective they're going to be to cause a move in that same direction. If that makes any sense to anybody.
Yeah.
But it seems as though that big up candle, was that kind of a move. And now we have an aggressive down candle that says, the direction you were talking about, Lennox, is more in tune to what they want to do. So apparently there's not enough buyers around at this point. But when I look at my active trader, I see it's fairly darn close with the amount of lots that are available on each side. But it looks like the direction you talked about is going to win out.
Yeah, this is a nice sell here at this point, because we've swept the highs. So I wouldn't expect them to take this high again. So that's where we get the head and shoulders, like I was pointing out earlier, that we get head and shoulders.
Yeah.
This is the classic head and shoulders pattern. So this is a good sell, but you take a risk, and the risk is not huge. Your risk is small here. So this is a good risk.
The problem,
and you look for that push down. So, just to be safe, you can wait for all this thing to happen. They sweep this low. They might come down now and sweep this low, and you still get another chance to get in to continue down. So you're still, even if you don't get in at this point, which is this is the best entry, you can still wait it out and wait for a pullback again to come down. So ideally, you'd like to see them take the lows here. So that gives us we do have a change of character at this point. So even at this point, it's still a good sell to come down. But we can still get another opportunity when they pull back again from breaking these lows. So I keep marking these gaps. When I'm playing, I don't usually mark them like that. I just kind of eye them. But it's a good idea to mark them for yourself so you can see what's going on the chart. Get rid of these guys. Okay, so you see at this point here, you could sell to come down, or you can wait for them to breach the low and we'll get another pullback. But there's no guarantee that you're going to get this pullback. So it's always best to try to get in early if you can. That's kind of how I look at it, because Just because we come
Okay.
down and break this low doesn't mean we're
It
going to get a
just
pullback.
took me in. Let's see what happens now. It's going higher. But that's what I often find is that I get in and it continues in that direction for a while. But
This is the ideal.
yeah. It has now dropped below, which is good.
So very, very good sell opportunity right there.
Yeah, well, that's where I got it.
But I'm trying to wait out this whole move, and the reason why I just want to show everybody what I would be expecting this move, and then a retrace back, and then a drop. So either whether you get in here now, or in here now, or you wait for the retrace again, which might not happen. Sometimes it's just a quick retrace and they're gone, right? So there's no guarantee that they're going to come back up here. So that's the risk you take by not getting in early on these moves. So they're really giving people a chance to get in. You see they're hanging around in here.
Yeah, they're hanging around a lot. And it looks like there's still more up to come at this point.
S&P looks very weak, much weaker. We do have a gap there on S&P. There we're right in that gap right now, playing around in it.
Okay, well, from the open to current, NASDAQ is 1.44% and S&P is 1.2% and Dow is 1.0%. But as I said, they're really playing with us up here.
She's kind of understood.
I turned one.
Your Bitcoin, as seems like it found a top at this point. It's got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it might be looking to move up to a wave 5 now.
Because I'm going to trade, please.
Wow, that really went up on the NAS.
I see you at 2 2.
So they're really hanging around here. So
Yeah, they're hanging around.
Are we just being fooled? We got to look at this from a higher time frame to see what's really going on. So
well, yeah, the emphasis is slightly to the up position at this point.
So everything is pointing to us coming back down, at least in the short term here. But
yeah,
they're playing a bit of games up there. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, and we pushed up, we swept. So we would likely scenarios that we come back down, but yeah, they could come back up, take out those. There are equal highs there, so it is possibly a ploy to induce the sellers and to come back up and take out these highs one more time. That's not out of the question, but I wouldn't expect that. I still think we should fall here, but because we have swept these guys out, these guys here should be safe. The dollars should be safe here, but there's no safe in this game, right?
They're still strong up there. You see, even that big red candle that we have half a dozen over was not enough to say, we're finished. We want to continue in our down direction. So it must be that they want to gather more lots up there.
This could be A, B, C, D, and E, and we're going to take that out and then go back up again.
Should break that prior high, not the all-time high, but or the
They could do this. They could be just doing that, and then we go again, because they did that earlier. If we go back over here, the same kind of thing that they postured and chopped it all up. Same kind of thing. So they can do the same thing again, chop it all up and then go again. See?
yeah.
So it's possible because
Well, hello everybody.
1, 2, this could be our 3, and inside of it we have this 5-wave move. So very, very sneaky, tricky stuff that they're pulling off here right now. And
Yeah, at this point they're giving us on a diagonals of the highs, we're going lower highs at this point.
Ah, now you're talking.
Tesla's made a nice move. Tesla is doing it as expected. Nice 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then another 1, 2, 3 here to push us to the upside. So quite nice on Tesla. But they're still playing games here on the NAS and the S&P. Bitcoin is looking to take out the equal highs here. So Bitcoin's still going up.
Yeah,
And that makes sense.
I was calling that kind of a new wave 5. The
That would make
possibility.
sense. Yeah, Bitcoin's quite strong.
Boy, are they playing games with us in this NASDAQ?
Yes, sir, they are. That's why I was a little hesitant, although everything looks good, that we could, I want to see them break this low here, but they're not doing that. So they're starting to chop it up. And that kind of could bring us down, take out this low. Doesn't mean they have to come and take this low, but I'd like to see them still do that in any case. So they could do that. Then we might get a move back up. It's this 1, 2, 3. This is the controller right now. This guy is controlling this move. So the key is this just a 3 or a 5? And it looks like we're at a 3.
Yeah, it looks like we're at a 3 at this
and we're
point.
chopping up and down. So
that's bothering me because that means there's not going to be an aggressive down movement.
well, it will be, very quickly in if this is the E leg, we get a quick move down, and yeah, but it's not something that will likely take us down.
Right.
But yeah, very choppy, very messy area.
I'm terming it. I like the concept you're talking about, A, B, C, D, E at this point, and see what any up move creates at this level. So far, we haven't penetrated our lower highs. If we do that, we might have to reconsider our concepts.
Yeah, this is looking more fourth wavy than anything else.
It needs a good spike down to take out the current.
Yeah, that's the expectation, that we take out these lows.
Yeah, takes out
Because
that.
that gives us
that
our
would be
A,
a
our B,
good
our C,
sign.
our D. So E will take out this leg. Will they take out these guys? Now is the question. Looks like that's possible.
We're getting close to that point now.
Are they good or what, eh?
Come on, one more hit to give me some profits here.
It might be it, but we could certainly go and take these lows here as well. But because they've swept it now, that could be it as well. If that's it, then we'd be looking for a new 1, 2 to continue going up.
Yeah.
Interesting. So quite the turn of events here.
It missed my first lot by 25 cents. This is not looking good now. Okay, that's better. It didn't penetrate it.
From the 5-minute standpoint. Where are they heading? Where are they likely to be going to? So we've already swept that high. I really didn't think that we'd be coming back up here again.
No, neither did I. But
it looked like this was our high, and we were gonna come down. But you see, they did not give us a fifth wave here. They turned it around. The news this morning came out with what was that news? The non-farm. And that gave us a big spike.
Okay,
so
this is bad news at this point.
So there's our structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're breaking that level. So I'm still expecting them to come down, but they've gone up one more time again. So it really, at this point here, the other day I thought we had another leg to come down, and they said no. And they went back up, took out the highs. So this is the same kind of thing. They did it again. Looked like we're going to come down. They said no, taking out the highs. So we should be getting very close to a top here. 4 hour, just looking to the left here. So I'm inside the gap from I think that's a 4 hour gap. Yes, or daily gap. It's a daily gap. Yeah, so that daily gap, we're right dead center of it right now. So I think that we're very, very, very close to a possible top now that could take us back down. So
let's hope this is the last level of us trying to play it to the top. It still has a lot of buying strength at this point.
very choppy stuff here.
I'd like to see a better down at this level. Let's see what I can do something here.
So this dotted line here is my midpoint of my daily gap, and we're just hovering right in that area. Quite interesting here. Bitcoin on the other hand is just rocking. Like I said, Bitcoin could probably hit 100,000 today. I said earlier. Right. Yeah, so they're really gunning for it right now. And there's that target up there on the daily right there. That takes us, that's almost 100,000 right there. So that's where they're heading on Bitcoin. Will they do it today? Maybe, maybe not, right? They can pull back first and so forth, but very strong move. Go back up to the 4 hour. Is there anything in between? Not really. There isn't anything here to hold them back. So the likely stop target is that high there and beyond. Yeah, very nice, strong push on Bitcoin there this morning. So we've hit the daily high. This is the daily candle high now. We've hit new highs on the daily. And looking very good there for Bitcoin. So NAS, okay. So there we go. So that's a missed opportunity.
That's the
there,
breaking move.
Yeah, so we're looking to break out of it now to push up to the upside, take out these highs. So there was our 1, 2, 3 after the sweep and retrace. So I'm jumping around too much, so I'm missing these opportunities. But that's a buy there to.
I thought
to
you
take
were
us up.
into a sell at this point.
Sorry?
I thought you were selling at this point.
No, we don't want to sell because now we see that we're doing this movement.
Oh, yeah.
So now
right.
it's a 1, 2, 3 bottom to go back up. So you don't want to be selling here. No. Because what they did, they were just chopping us up in here. It was a ploy. They were enticing the sellers to go down. It looked like we would like to go down, take out these lows, but then they started to chop it. So it becomes a totally different pattern. So what is happening is that they're doing 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, taking out the lows. So they leave these guys alone. They didn't touch these guys. So now they're going to go up and take them out. Okay. That was the ploy to induce the sellers here to go short. So this is the entry that takes you out, takes you up. And they're not coming back now. So more than likely now, once they've done this, we've got a big gap here. Oops, a big gap here. So will they come back into this gap? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. They'll probably just keep going now. It's possible they could come back, but it's like a breakaway gap. So they'll just continue and take out these highs. So this is your opportune entry area is right here.
Thank you.
So that because I'm jumping around, I was waiting for this pullback here to get in, but I missed it. So it's all good. Again, just as long as you can see what's going on, this is the key to it, right? Be able to discern it before it happens. So it's very, very tricky that what they do. So they make the 1, 2, 3. This is beautiful. This is like one of the classic entries down here, because again, we're the 1, 2, 3 traders. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for a sweep. We're looking for a move up. We're looking for another sweep. We're looking for a pullback. That's our entry area. We can take the trade to these areas. So once they do that, inside of this now, like we're in a channel from here to here. We're inside the channel.
That channel now is a mess. Yeah.
We get a pullback. They go back up and take out this high. So now at this point, it looks like we're done and that we should be getting this movement back down. So that's what it.
Well, it hasn't taken out the high yet, though.
They're not done. So they did come back into the gap here. So this gives us another buy opportunity at this point. So I would buy that now to continue going back up to take out the highs. So just a quick play here. So because they came back to give us another opportunity to get in, take advantage of that to get in. So my stop would be below the low here or the low here. We should be good to go back to the upside here. I'll put my stop below the candle in the middle of the gap rather than the candle that formed the gap because it's too far away. So my risk is okay. They're looking for them to go back up and take out the highs. You know, so that will give us our structure. Let's see what S&P is doing at the same point. S&P similar. We're looking for them to continue going up. Let's see Tesla at this point. Tesla's getting a little bit of a pullback. There's a gap there. So Tesla should continue pushing back up again. Should still continue pushing.
Did you say you think Tesla's going to continue pushing?
It looks so. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, we could be coming into. We've got a 1, 2, another 1, 2. So we still haven't even hit a fourth wave yet. So we should continue pushing here.
Okay.
To the upside. This gap should hold us up.
Good.
I want to see them leave here quicker, but we're in a fourth wave, so
It's interesting. It doesn't want to take me.
get up to that high. This is just a quick scalp here, really. But, take profit would be this high over here. 2,700 and some odd. So getting a nice push here. So I could take a little something off just in case. Never hurts to do that. And just let the rest go. Bring my stop up into positive. So where are they going to again? So I need to see to the left here. So remember, we're still in the middle of our gap. There's nothing else above that at this point. They were going to the top of the gap. So it's saying that they could go for these highs. That's a total possibility, right? So if we're going to go for those highs, how far up are we? We're way up there. That's a long way up, but that's a total possibility for us to get up there. So is there enough strength there to do that? You see, there's nothing else on the, you see on the daily here, we're inside this gap. There isn't anything else left after, if they go through this gap, that means they're going to take out the equal highs here.
That's what they should be doing, but I'm getting some indication that they're not going to do that.
I'd be surprised, but not terribly surprised, you know. So we're getting a pullback here, so that could get stopped out. I'm in positive, but I'd like to see them not stop me out here. That's why I take a little something off, because as much as I want to see them break this high, sometimes that's what they kind of do, that they pull back and, you know, they'll break that high, pull back again, then they'll come back and break the high finally. So take something off when you get a chance and There's nothing wrong with that at all. So we could just take this high and then that's it. You know, so like they might go up a little higher than where I have my target, but I don't have any really good air. Let me see. Let's see where the top of my there. Okay, so that's where the top of my gap is. So what I can do is from the middle of my gap right here, this dotted line, if I mark off from the to the top like that.
They're really
This is
trying
good.
to do something here, but it's an iffy situation.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is from the middle of this is my daily gap that we're in. So this dotted line is the daily gap, the middle of it. So there's the top of the gap and the bottom of the gap is down here. So since we're right in the middle of it and we're just doing this gyration, if they don't stop me out here, then I can mark off the top portion of the gap. So from the middle to the high, and then look for the middle of that gap as a target. So the quarter point of the gap. So that's a reasonable target to that midpoint area there. Let me do that again. So I'm going to put it dead on that right there. So that's a reasonable possibility that they can go right up to the midpoint of the half quarter of that gap. So let's see if they do that. But I could get taken out here because I'm very close to death here. I'd like to see them continue without taking me out here. So how's Tesla doing? Tesla's still faltering a little bit. So it's just trying to, the gap is still holding, but barely, but it should hold and we should continue pushing up because there isn't anything else for them to come back down to here. So you can just wick it here maybe, unless they're going to take the low.
From what I'm seeing, they still aren't showing their cards. They're sitting in the middle trying to figure out who's going to win this battle.
We know where they're heading. It's just a matter. So we're in a fourth wave chop again. So just like what we did here, you know, they chop it all up. They're doing the same thing again. So looking for them to push out of here, but they could certainly come back down again and then go. So there's no guarantees in this area.
Well, I've been following it on the tick chart, and so far I have a diagonal on the highs, and we're at the point where it's trying to decide whether it's going to break it or just go down. And either is of equal possibility, which is the same thing I was getting on the 1 minute chart before. So I decided to switch to the tick chart to see if I could get better clarity. But it's still not telling me who's on first. It's trying to get lower. But money flow is still up there trying to break the top.
Bitcoin's pulling back a bit here. So there's the move on Bitcoin. Equal highs here. 948.56, 945. So they did take the high here on Bitcoin. So this high was breached, and then we get this pullback. So we'd be looking for a possibility of a move like this. Otherwise, we're going to continue going, taking out the highs again, because they're equal highs here. So we've
Okay,
got a lot of strength.
at this point, it's broken my upper diagonal on the tick chart, which says it wants to go higher.
Yeah, we should take out these highs now. So at this point, we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have A, B, C. So we could possibly expect a D and an E to take out C. That's possible. And then we go up to our target. Or we just get A, B, C, and we get a move to go to our target. So which one will it be? So if they do the E leg, then I'm toast. Otherwise, they just go straight up now, and we get to target. So this is where it gets tricky. Which one will they do? Do they do just an A, B, C and go straight up? Which is what they did.
They just hit the high.
That's what they did. So that's good. So, but they could have come down one more time here, see, and then go. But they got their quota. They just missed me by a tick, a tick or two in here. And that was enough to take me up to the, so you see now I'm at the midpoint of the halfway point of the daily gap. I'm at the midpoint of the half of the half. I hope everybody understands what I'm talking about. So I got a gap, and the midpoint of the gap, I'm just looking at the last, this portion of it. This portion of it. So halfway point of the gap is here. And I'm looking at the other half of that half, quarter of it, right? And I go to that. So that's where I set my target for, but they can still go higher than that. But this is a reasonable target based on my structure. So I would expect that we should at least get into there. So it looks like they might even want to go higher, but that's fine. So I could keep breaking it down into another half of that and say, okay, we could go to that half. And you could keep doing that, forever. But this might be enough now to turn us back to the downside. It could be very close to a top now is what I'm saying. So this is the top of the daily gap. And will that hold us back and bring us back down? This is kind of what I'm expecting. So there's our structure playing out, and I'm expecting that pullback. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen at this point still. But we've swept everybody out now, so there's no one else left up here. So that's kind of what's going on. This is kind of how you have to read the charts. It's very difficult sometimes. This is very choppy, very sneaky playing in here. They're sweeping everybody out. They're taking, in here they leave the sellers alone here. So it looks, everybody who's selling, they feel like, oh yeah, this is great. They didn't, I'm good. They're still coming down, but it's a ploy. And so they sweep the buyers out here, anyone who bought. So this is the manipulation that you were asking me about, Peter. This is what they're doing in these areas, the choppy areas. They're manipulating it. And so they sweep out the buyers, and then leave the sellers alone. So the sellers look like, oh yeah, we're good. We're coming down. We're taking out the buyers down here. Everything looks good. We're going to keep going down. But unless you understand that you're in a fourth wave, that's what happens. You get induced to sell, and the whole ploy is to come back up to take you out. And that's what they do. So they make the 1, 2, 3, take everybody out. Just with one sweep, boom, boom. Yeah, everybody's done. Except for these guys. They leave them last. In this case, chop it up a little bit, take them out. now everybody's gone. And so there's nowhere for them to go now except to come back down. This is just beautiful. But they do this all the time. They're doing this all the time, all the time. That's the whole thing. It's just a constant. There's no deviation from this. And it's the understanding of it that opens it up. And it's all about just this structure. That's it. This is it. It's seeing it and believing it, and it's hard for people to believe it, first of all, and then when you do see it, it's hard to play it because you're still afraid that, oh, it's not right and so forth. But you have to take the risk, and the risk is our 1, 2, 3. You get in at this point. So where's your risk? Your risk would be, entry, stop. That's your risk to take this trade if you got in at that point. And you don't even have to risk that much, really, on these levels. There's really cool ways of getting in. ICT talks about it, the entries, and you don't have to risk as much. But that all comes with experience. So this should come back down now. So now we'd be expecting a breach of the lows here. 1, 2, 3 top to come back down. So it's just a structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do this. So that gives us that, again, that head and shoulders pattern. Wow, okay, so we're 20 minutes after the hour, so I'm done for the day. So got some, got a few nice trades in there, just a couple losses, not bad. And so that's plenty for anyone, even if you're only doing a tenth of what I'm doing, you could still make some nice money there. Those trades. So, I'm trying to make it to 3 million by the 15th of the month here. So I'm just a 500,000 away. So let's see if I can do it. At least by the end of the month anyways. So there we go. So we're breaking that low. That's a break of structure. So we would expect a retrace. And where will we retrace to? We're retracing back to a previous gap. There's a gap there, or an inverted gap. So I marked them off. But there's a gap. No other gaps except this little one right here. So right in the middle of the inverted gap. So we would expect a retrace back, but there's no guarantee that we're going to get one. We could just go like that, continue. But that's, you expect them to come back, and then they give you a nice entry with a risk that high to come back down. That's what I would look for. All right, so I'm going to call it a day and a week.
Well, thank you. Oh,
Yes.
It's a week is gone too. Exactly.
Yes, sir. Another week in the life. Yeah, we're just getting older, Martin.
Indeed. But we do so with some style, don't we?
I don't know. I thought this only happened to other people.
Yeah.
Martin, it's certainly good seeing you again.
Well, I decided to not get older and did my airway surgery, but that took a toll.
Uh-huh.
Well, it'll work out now.
That's good. You can breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe again.
Not quite yet. The nose is still clogged, but that will come.
Armin, glad you could join us this morning here.
Yeah, I had a little trouble getting in, so.
Okay, no problem. I saw you there. So there
Hi,
is
Martin. Nice to see
quick,
you again.
Yeah, a quick look at Tesla here at the end. So as expected, they came down. See, they stayed right in that gap. They did not go through. See how these gaps, boy, I tell you, they really hold. And then they go back up, take out the high. So now we would expect them to come down, take out the low, give us our structure, and go back up, and then come back down, something like that. That's a possibility. Again, we'd have to, I'm just speculating at this point, because we'd have to look on the higher time frames to see if that is so, because the higher time frame takes precedence over that lower time frame. So the sweep here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like we're done. We sweep again, right? So it is possible that we could just get this head and shoulders and come back down.
I see a
Or
1, 2, 3.
they might not be done, and they can still go back up one more time to take out these guys up here. So
I see a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 hour chart.
on the 1 hour, wow. Okay, so let's go 15. So 15-minute. I can see the structure. So it looks like they're heading to take out this high up here. You can see it. So based on our structure overall, we've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom right there, and then we get this move. So we've been in a fourth wave. Now we're getting the move out of the fourth wave. So we're looks like they're heading up to take out that high. So the NAS might not be done going up either. So this is a potential move still to the upside, right? You can see that. So let's go up a little higher on the 30. So on the 30, we're still in that chop. We're still in this big choppy area, and you can see what they're doing now. So from here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and looks like we're pushing to go up to take out that high. But they didn't take out the high here first. They didn't take out this high. They haven't taken out this high. So it's possible that we just come back down too, right? You see? Because they left these guys alone, they could just leave these guys alone as well and just drop again. And what would that give us? If this is a 3, that would be our A, this would be our B, this is our C. That's a terrible looking B, sorry guys. Our C, our D, and then this is an E leg that takes us back down to take out the C, and then we could go back up again. So they can manipulate this, because this is a manipulation area. There's no guarantee that, oh yeah, we could just go straight up and take out all these guys, or take out D and B. It's no guarantee. We could still come down first, take out equal lows here, and drop back down, take out this low before we get that move back up. So keep that in mind anyways. It's always good to look at the chart from the higher time frame, because it really opens it up for you. So you said there's a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the hourly. Are you referring to this one, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a bigger one.
So that's given us that 1, 2, 3, 4 move, and then we would expect them to take out this high. If they're going to do that, then they more than likely will take out all the highs if we're going to go through. But again, they didn't take out this high, they didn't take out this high, and they haven't taken this one out. So we could see a pullback to take out the lows one more time before we get this move. So just keep that in mind, because this is what's controlling this move right now. This guy down here is controlling that move. We could see that. So it's quite interesting how it works and how it plays, but you have to be flexible. Like I keep saying, you have to be flexible. You can't be rigid in your analysis.
I'll have to talk to my favorite market maker.
Yeah, you have to be a market maker to win. You have to be in their minds. What are they doing? So yeah, so there we go. Breach, looking for a retrace now, and a possible move back down. So that could bring Tesla down as well, right? If that's the case. Let's see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of the barometer. It kind of tells you what's going on. So look at Bitcoin. 1, 2, drop. So we could continue dropping here. So quite interesting that all of a sudden the change of events on Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin was an interesting move.
Very interesting move. So on the 15-minute, we get this 1, 2. They chop it all up. They push up. So now we could certainly come back down because there's lots of liquidity sitting down here now. So that's a likely scenario. So that means Tesla and the indices might fall as well coming into the rest of the afternoon here. So it should be interesting. I could sit here all day with you guys and, you know, this and look at this stuff, but yeah, we'll call it a day. 8:30 my time.
It's up 9.3% today.
Sorry?
Just so you know, Qubit is up 9.3%.
Oh, Qubit
today.
went up. Wow, that's a good thing.
Little pop there.
Yeah, let's see what I haven't even looked at them in a while. Yeah, so you see how this gap I marked off is holding. They've come and skimmed it, and now we've got a nice 1, 2, 3 here. So it's looking pretty good here on Qubit at this point that we could go up and take out these highs and push out above 10. That would be nice.
Big gap way over at where is that? How far is that? On the left there, we see the beginning of the year, January.
Up in here.
Yeah.
Up in the 15 area. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
That's a huge gap indeed. I mean, short term looking to take out these highs anyways. And then the next highs would be these guys here up at around 12.5 or so. So that would be a nice, and looks pretty good there. We got a nice 1, 2, 3. So we should be able to make that level in the short term. Looking pretty good there on Qubit.
Well, the mantra for May, I understand, is go away and play in May. Isn't that it? Have you haven't heard that one?
Yeah. There's what was I don't. Maybe George might remember what that is. Something
What's
about
that?
There's a little saying about playing in May. A little rhyme.
Yeah, when it comes to investing, I guess go away and play in May. Nothing really to worry about or whatever. I guess just.
Well, NASDAQ just hit VWAP and is turning around. It got me out and now it's turning back up. So I got out with a nice profit.
Oh, good.
Very strong looking daily bar there on the NAS, that's for sure. Yeah, so that's what we expect, that pullback now. And so a possible entry in this area to come back down. That's what I would expect at this point. So you guys don't want to leave, eh?
I'm really tired, but I would like to. I'd like to make more money.
Yeah, but you know, if you're really tired, that's when you lose money.
Okay, I'm going to bed now.
So, you know.
Bye.
Good to be fresh and alive in this game because, you have to be quite alert and vigilant in this stuff. So it looks like they're going to push back up into this gap area here, George, and that would present a nice sell.
Yeah. I got out just at the right time, I think.
Okay,
great.
I'm yawning, so I'm going to go. God bless you guys. Bye for now.
Have a good day. All right,
Okay.
Martin,
Take
I'm going to
care.
say au revoir as well.
Yeah, well, otherwise I'll see you Monday.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Have a
Have
good
a good,
weekend,
strong end.
everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm heading to the woods now for a walk.
Okay.
Taking
So Peter
George's example.
Peter will be meeting right after with Vic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a good strong end.
Yes, sir. And for those on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. Do give us a like and subscribe if you find this information valuable. And again, this was all for educational purposes only. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.